Hunters look lost. I mean, Hunters are always lost if they play the meta. Hunters are always lost. But they could have tried to play, like, you could have tried to get value with what the Titans were trying to play by copying the Hunters from a couple of weeks ago and playing the Ball Zarya. If you played Ball Zarya, and Shanghai played this as well, Ball Zarya with a Doomfist and Tracer, that's what a couple of teams were trying to play back in the day. Or back a couple of weeks ago. But I don't think Fisher is comfortable on the Ball or the Zarya. And Janu, I don't think is that comfortable on the Zarya at all. So you have Janu on Ball and Fisher having to play the Zarya. Like, it just doesn't work with their team. So even if Fisher did want to play the Ball, Janu doesn't really play the Zarya that much. So you're kind of fucked trying to play those Wrecking Ball compositions. So now you're playing Monkey Ball, which just gets hard counted by an Orisa Hog. Really bad, really bad. Sominsu Zarya, they could have tried to do that, but then you have like Haxel Stitch playing the... I mean, they could have done that as well. Stitch could have played the Hanzo, and they could have had Haxel playing the Mei. But it's bad. It's bad. If you have to run Janu Sominsu to play Ball Zarya, then you are just locking yourselves into Ball Zarya, and you cannot play any other tank line. Not a single other tank line. So that's, again, also bad, because you just get hard countered by them playing dumber compositions to try and counter you because they know that you can't swap back to something more meta. No, they didn't run Haxel at all. Do I have any idea why that happened? No. Nope, no idea. Stitch played Hanzo and he looked really good, to be honest. Stitch played a bit of Hanzo and he got a couple of picks, but the team coordination was dreadful. And he was all right. It was very, very clear that both Stitch and Sominsu were worse than Nero and Happy, though, in that series. And that's only from watching 20 minutes of it. I didn't even watch the whole thing. I just flicked through the VOD and watched 20 minutes. And every single part that I watched, Happy was dominating Stitch and Sominsu. I mean, I'll go back through it on the replay viewer at some point. Or maybe I'll go back through the VOD. But, I mean, unless I skipped over some insane 5Ks or something that turned the entire tide of a fight but actually didn't result in the Titans winning anything, it seemed like Happy and Nero were kind of pounding. Yeah. Happy is a really good tracer, though. He used to play for Element Mystic, which is how I started learning about him way, way long ago, back in 2017, I want to say. No, it must have been 2018. No, maybe it was 2017. Anyway, he played under the ID of Vesta. And when he played as Vesta, he played pretty much only Tracer. And he was really good. So, I think Happy has like a good McCree, good Tracer, good Widowmaker, good Hanzo. Fury is in? Yeah. What's Wolf saying? Why is Wolf off screen? Wolf looks like he's trying to get behind Ilios. Yeah, I'm expecting Philly, if Fury is in, to play Ryan Orisa. No Exy? Maybe Exy can't play Hanzo. I know. I've seen Exy play Hanzo, though, and I think it was all right. Bro, what the fuck are Paris planning on playing? They must be playing Orisa Sigma. Otherwise, they'd have no smite in. And if they're playing Orisa Sigma, then they should be playing Mei Hanzo. Yeah, maybe they're running Tracer. Maybe they're running Mei Tracer. But I don't think that Mei Tracer is great against Mei McCree. Like, Mei Tracer is okay against the more, like, brawly comps. Like, Mei Tracer is really good when you're playing against the Doomfist Tracer, the ball compositions, this kind of stuff. The dive kind of style. because Tracer is undivable and gets a lot done in the Carnage. So the Philly Fusion roster makes a lot of sense if they're going to play some Orisa Rein. And it's fine even if they don't, because I'm sure the Fury can play the Sigma if he needs to. I mean, he's had so long to be able to practice it. Yes, he didn't play it last playoffs, but he must have had time to do it. But you would expect them to be playing the Rein Orisa, which is what they've locked in early on. You would expect Ivy now to switch over to the May as well. But for Paris, even if Soon does end up playing like the Sim, like he's locked in at the moment, that doesn't really make sense because XC's played a lot of Sim anyway. Maybe the Reaper. It must be Reaper, right? They must be playing May Reaper. The Reaper is the only thing that makes sense. Especially with a Sim teleport strat as well. He's playing the Torb. I mean, I don't know why I didn't even think about that, because that is what Atlanta Reign were playing in week 1 as well. Or week 2 or whatever the fuck. But when, you know, the week 1 kind of meta that extended for quite a while. Torb is good. But Torb, I think, is more of a... I mean, I don't think that this flank from Carpe is good. Carpe flanking here means that he has no... Oh my god, Funny Astro just won the 1v1 against FD God. Sit down, son. Sit down. 2 Reddit Lucios playing against each other. Carpe's flank, I mean, who's he trying to kill? And instead, his team just loses any opportunity to use flashbangs to put shield pressure down. Sadow's going to get fucking shredded if he keeps flanking. Funny Astro's like, this ain't EU, kid. Yeah, basically. Nice wall from Ivy. Immortality Field, though, is good from Grey. And Sado and Fury are getting pounded. That's quite a nice shatter. Counter pin as well. Supercharger, though, makes a huge difference. Paris Eternal end up coming out with the win. Yeah. I mean, I honestly don't know which is better, the McCree or the Torb, when you're playing Rein Orisa. I feel like Torb might actually just be better. And I don't know why I didn't think about it in the pregame, but because you can set up your turrets on the other side, and they don't really have anyone to deal with it apart from, like, the Lucio. And, like, a couple of McCree shots, I guess. But and your Torb can continue to put in the same kind of damage and pressure on the front line as a McCree can. Okay, anyway, we've got a Supercharger from Fury. That should shred. Molten Core is very powerful against this team, though. And Paris have done a good job at kiting. They've got a Blizzard. Carpe gets run down. Yeah. Yeah, Carpe really needs to stop flanking. The Blizzard is not even going to find anybody. Find soon. Oh, FD God got booped off? He walked off? I don't even know what happened to FD God there, honestly. It didn't even look like he got booped. It just looked like he walked off. I don't know what's going on there. The Tracer, I like, honestly, in the overtime scenario. And I also feel like the Tracer, even though it sounds dumb to say the Tracer is better against the Torb than the McCree, because Carpe keeps going on flanks, if he wants to do that anyway, then you might as well be playing a Tracer. Because the McCree's not getting anything done when you play like that. At least on Tracer, you can distract, build up pulse bombs. Dude, the Paris Eternal, though, are just getting so close to their ults. I don't really see how Philly win this unless Sado hits some huge shatter or they can get off a clutch pick or something. These ults are just going to be so powerful. Nico in with a Blizzard. Alright, they did actually get out the sound barrier. Soon going weak. If Carpe can win the 1v1. Oh, that's really nice by Soon. Yeah, Paris have won this, though. The ults are just way too much. Okay. Nice work from Paris. I thought this game would be close. You know, I give the edge to Philly, but we're back to a meta that really suits Paris. So, yeah, I think this is genuinely two top-level teams playing this kind of meta. I think the only team that I would have above either of these teams in this meta specifically is maybe even like a fucking Atlanta, because they like to play this kind of style anyway. My God, Soon is winning the 1v1s. Get it, Soon. Get it. I would not have said that Soon would win this 1v1. I would have given the edge to Carpe. Even though Soon is good at Tracer 1v1s, I would have given the edge to Carpe for sure. There's no way they turn this. Come on. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Sado Shatter? Sell the Stonks? He did shatter someone. I think he got a shatter onto, I don't know, like the May or someone, didn't he? I mean, I think that Sado's just getting pounded here because Carpe's going for the flanks, like, at the beginning of this round, anyway. Yeah, Soon did go kind of crazy that round. That was good by Soon. Poco is better for Orisa? I disagree. I think Fury's got a better Orisa from the small amount that we've seen the two of them play. Poco back in, like, early weeks when this team was playing Rhino Orisa didn't look like he was having that much impact, whereas Fury did play pretty well actually in the playoffs last year. I mean, I don't think that. Okay, so again, Paris are playing this brawly comp. Carpe is going over to the Widow. Oh my God, destroyed. Okay, dude, Carpe just hits shots, dude. He hits fucking shots. Yes. Yeah, go on, FD God. See what you can do. Dude, Carpe's so fun to watch. Carpe Widow, yep, cock. That's what we like to see. Oh, this is an aggressive angle. Oh, don't get halted. Carpe going for some aggro positions. Carpe could just stay on high grounds because nobody on Paris can attack him apart from FD God. Nice kill again from Carpe. Just show me the Carpe POV, dude. Just show me the Carpe POV. Oh, Carpe's too aggressive, too aggressive. With Philly getting 2 picks there from Carpe, Philly definitely should have won that. They needed to play maybe a bit more passive so they don't just get... Oh, sorry, I've just woken up. They need to play a bit more passive, perhaps, so that they don't get their front line rolled before Carpe can get the picks. But they definitely should have won with Carpe getting those kind of kills. I suppose Torb with no fall-off damage. Torb and May, Carpe actually does have to worry about a few things. Getting a headshot by May and Torb and getting harassed by FD God. Better ult usage there from Philly. But they don't really have the damage to be able to roll over the front line even after they've got picks. They really have to rely on Ivy. Having said that, Ivy has been, in the past, really, really good. Oh! FD God, though, is just like... If he's going to go aggressive, it feels like he has to go aggressive earlier on. Ivy has been really good at landing headshots in... and just icicle damage in general. Last time we saw a May meta. He hit that? He did hit the headshot, but FD God... I mean, the Lucio should win against the Widowmaker if you actually get close to them. Oh, Soon's gone over to the Widowmaker. I think this is a bad play by Soon, but it depends if he just gets the picks. I mean, dude, what the fuck did Philly just do there? Philly knew that Soon had gone over to the Widowmaker, But I suppose, I mean, you get... If you're playing the mirror, you only need one pick, and then you can just push. Yeah, they just got destroyed there. I feel like Soon should have stayed on the Torb because they were winning the neutral fights, and Carpe really has to clutch. But Soon got it done. Oh. He goes over to the Widow and immediately picks the Batista. Why was Carpe so far behind? Oh, FD God just gets down by a funny Astro as well. Shadow misses from Astro. Okay, nice counter barrier from Funny Astro. That should win them the fight. Hanbin drops the point. Okay, and now here's the problem. Because Paris haven't been playing default, they are now not in control, and they're waiting for another big pick coming out from Soon. So, I mean, they do have the Blizzard, but I would have liked Soon to swap off here. The fact that he gets sights a little bit before Carpe could be crucial, because it means that Philly have to back off, and they're going to give Nico a better angle for the Blizzard. But this is honestly going to be a little difficult for Nico to find value. Blizzard's lobbed in. Fortify. Carpe gets the kill on Soon. Ivy gets the pick as well. It's just so predictable where Paris are going to be. Whoa! Don't get pinned by that, Carpe. Holy fuck. Yeah. I can see why Soon would want to stay on the Widow. It stops Carpe taking aggressive angles, that kind of shit. But, God, I just really think that Soon should have stayed on the Torb there. Carpe killed FD God. Yeah. Carpe hit some really big shots over the course of that whole thing. The fish killed God. The Lucio 1v1 is 3-2 in favor of FD God at the moment. Thank you. Thank you. Carpe can't Widow carry on this map, though? No, he can't. No, he can't. And because it's so clumpy on the point, I think the Torb might be better again here. Sideshow's Sado redemption story. I mean, I don't know whether I would really say that Sado impacted this match at all so far. Carpe just became the first player in the league to reach 600 solo kills. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right? Carpe, he plays the solo kill kind of heroes. Oh, Soon is now playing on the Sim. I just figured that they would swap off to the top. Sim's also pretty powerful here. Philly could swap over to the Doom. It's a pretty hard counter. The McCree is also good against it. But, yeah, the Sim is really good. Sim is a very good composition for double shield like this. At least for Ryan Orisa double shield. Hanbin! Hanbin's shield usage was poor in that fight. So much of this double shield battle comes down to when the Orisas use shield and how they use shield, which is unlike any other composition. Like, normally, using your Orisa shield is such a thing that you don't even really have to think about that much. Like, yeah, you have to think about it in terms of cycling and making sure that you peak with the damage so that the enemy Orisa shield gets blocked and stuff like that. But you have to be much more careful with how you use your Orisa shield in this comp. And being able to approach with the Ryan shield and then only use your Orisa shield when you're actually taking engagements in order to block off, isolate players to block heals, this kind of stuff. Nice immortality, but I don't think that's going to be enough. What happened to Ivy's ult? I missed what happened to Ivy's. Did he use it later? Did he use it in the wrong place? I don't know. Yeah, that was very clean. It was a nice teleport from Soon. It was a nice wall from Nico. And then it was a nice blizzard as well. Oh, did he get shattered out of it? Ah. Pretty clutch. Pretty clutch. I missed that. It was on screen. I was looking at the ults. I was looking at the people positioned around the point. I don't always look at the player that's on the screen. Oh, Kabe. Okay. I mean, he's assuming that Carpe is going for the kill on the on the Wakanda shield. So he thinks it's safe to flank. I mean, I don't even think that's that bad of a flank from Nico. I don't know. Maybe I'm just snorting Nico's ass there, but I think that kind of makes sense because Carpe's using his Deadeye in order to knock down the Wakanda shield, which I can't remember the name of, so I'm going to keep calling it the Wakanda shield. So, and then I think Nico's like coming around the back to try and flank him, to try and either kill him or freeze him. He's got his ice block available as well if he notices that Carpe flicks around to him, but Carpe just read the flank. I think Carpe just kind of outplayed him. All right, so Soon now on the Torb. I think the Torb is a decent idea here, but that's a very powerful Amp Matrix coming out from Alarm. Okay, so Paris lose this one, but they're going to come back into the next fight with a Blizzard. But Philly have their own Blizzard. They don't really have anything else. I mean, the Deadeye is going to be decent at trying to zone them, because it does a lot of zoning against a double shield comp like this. If you're Paris, you almost want the sim again here. Because the sim's going to allow you to get onto the point and wall off and be able to play so that you don't have to get caught by this Deadeye. But Soon on the Tracer does something kind of similar. It blocks them down to the point, and it means that they're going to be able to play on their own turf. The problem is this Deadeye still gets damage done. It's still so good at zoning. And you're slowly building up to Funny Astro's ultimate as well, which could be game-changing as well. Okay, both Blizzards exchanged. Hard to tell where they are at all. Sado! I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't know what happened there. That's one of those fights where both Blizzards are down, people scatter, and Sado throws himself off the map, and I can't tell you why the Paris Eternal won that one. I couldn't tell where the Blizzards were placed. I couldn't tell where the tanks were moving, so I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what Sado even did. Did he go for a pin and miss? Why would you go for a pin that leaves you over the top? Get rid of your Sado stonks right now. It's about a drop. He literally walked backwards off the map. He got booped. If he got booped, normally it comes up in the kill feed, but sometimes it doesn't. He literally backed off the cliff. All right, let's rewind actually. Let's rewind. We can sync this up later, but that's too important. All right. Here we go. All right. So let's take a look here. So Soon plays the point. All right, here's what I'm going to do, actually. I'm going to pull up Epic Pen, and I'm going to draw over the top of this, and it's like live clip VOD analysis. Well, all right, so Soon plays the point here. Soon plays the point. There's a Deadeye that comes out from that direction, so they back off a little bit. Soon comes on a flank. They've already used Immortality Field as well from Alarm. They take position on the point. Ivy uses his Blizzard somewhere around here. Freeze, don't move. But it's only on the left-hand side. Sado? Sado actually, I think, gets booped. I think he gets booped by FD God. But maybe he just jumped back. No, he had a shield up. I think he just jumps backwards off the map. I think he just jumps backwards off the map in order to dodge away from FD God. You guys think it's a boop? Yeah, it must be a boop, right? Nobody goes that high in the air when you jump. Yeah, it must be a boop. I don't know why he's playing over there, though. If the freeze is over here, then why isn't he playing on the left-hand side? Pretty bad misplay. Why is Carpe over there as well? I mean, yeah, he was coming from this side. I don't know why the freeze wasn't used on this side of the map that had Sado and Carpe on it as well. Oh, unfortunate misplay, honestly. At the end there. Unfortunate misplay at the end. All right, let's sync back up, everybody. Watch FD God? I can't watch specific POVs. Never Swan, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Looking worriedly at his portfolio of Sado stonks. Yeah, basically. Don't you have Owl Match Viewer like Owl players? Yeah, but not like the second that it happens. Well, that was a close match. That was a close map, sorry, on Ilios. So far, so good. Both teams are playing pretty well. I mean, apart from a bit of a misplay from Philly towards the end, but generally speaking, both teams are playing pretty well. So this is a good meta for both teams. I think we've got a close game on our hands. Drink your water, Fivehead. Okay, I'm going to. It is live on the viewer. Oh, is it at the moment? I don't think I've been told before that I should wait until Monday to use the replay viewer. So I can ask them again because that wasn't when we were in a COVID crisis. So maybe they'll be more lenient now that we're in COVID. But I don't know. We'll see. Do I have any current league power rankings? Yeah, we do them on Plat Chat every week. John ask. I'll go and get some water. In a sec. Love you. All right, I'm back perfectly in time. Alarm and boombox. I like this. It makes sense because most teams are going to be playing the Zen Baptiste with the Orisa Sigma. So if you want to play Orisa Sigma the entire map... Oh, and we've still got Fury in as well. That's interesting. I wondered whether Fury... Let's take a look at Fury's Sigma as well. See how good it is. I think it should be good because Fury's normally really good. But I believe this is his first time playing Sigma. At least in a match. But these are the two meta compositions playing against each other right now, I think. You know, apart from soon playing the Torbjorn. Normally you would expect it to be the McCree. It's hard for Philly to be able to do enough damage before the Lucio speed boost just runs into them. So if they haven't done a lot of damage to Paris's shields by the time they engage, then it's pretty difficult to actually defend. In my opinion, if you're playing on some kind of like assault map, basically, here's my read on it. Anywhere that you have your back against a wall, the Lucio Ryan Orisa comps are better. But anywhere that you have like a long street section like this, the Orisa Sigma generally is better. Because you can keep disengaging, and eventually you win the fight with the Philadelphia Fusion comp. My God, I can't use my words today. But you have to make sure that you don't eventually get run down by the Lucio. It also depends whether you have little rooms to be able to play inside of and this kind of stuff, obviously. But whether you can get dropped on. Like, that drop is really good from Paris. Because they close the distance so quickly. And Philly's composition needs you to slowly approach them. So at the moment, Paris are just fucking rolling. So great use of dominating the high ground from Paris. This is looking really good from Paris. Oh. And again, they've been caught. They've been caught by the Lucio. Oh, but now they need to back up. Now they need to back up. Back. Back. Oh, you've been caught by the wall. Just back, though. Back, though. Nice defensive wall by Nico. Okay. So in this segment, though, Paris are going to take a lot of damage as they approach, unless they find a way to get close while still being in cover. So if they work their way around the left-hand side here, they're going to be covered for the majority of their time as they approach. So I really like this again from Paris. They've certainly thought about this. They're even going top, which I love as well. So they're going to push the cart, probably with Nico or the Orisa. And this is the part where Philly's comp is really powerful, when there's long sight lines. But if they can get and play the cover, if they can try and slowly work this cart forwards, and now now they can go from the right-hand side. Ah, but they've lost soon. This is the problem with Paris's comp here, is that Philly have so many opportunities to get a player pick or do shield damage as they approach. And it's hard for them to really get in. But now that they've got the cart pushed up that far, when Soon comes back, they can explode out the left-hand side now from Philly's perspective. I don't think that they should really push main. I think the sightlines are way too good. I think you have to push right or left. And Carpe's got the high ground as well. This is going to be tough for Paris. I would like to see them all go high ground, honestly. That might sound really dumb, and yeah, I suppose you're a little bit vulnerable to the Orisa halts, but if they all went left side and all went high ground, Paris, they could force Carpe off the balcony, and they could drop onto the Philly Fusion without taking much damage on the approach at all. What? Yo, Ivy with the snipe on Soon, who was just coming out of spawn. Soon had no reason to think that he was going to get picked there. That's a wild pick. That just sets things back 10 seconds because Ivy's a nut. Just go Sim and Telly up top. Yeah, but I mean, you can also just walk up top. And the Sim isn't really that good. Paris want to run things like Torb or McCree or Reaper. Stuff that is high tempo. Sim is not high tempo, really. Okay, good work. Baits out the flashbang. Can go back in. So now the Tracer's going to try and make space for the rest of Paris. It's possible. I would have preferred to see them just... Ooh, the Shatter. Drops Ivy and Fury to the floor. And now that Paris have actually got position, they should win. Soon dies? How does Soon kill himself? With a pulse bomb? He killed himself on his own pulse bomb? Yeah, Soon actually got a lot of work done that fight. I wouldn't normally think of the Tracer there as a great thing to be able to break point C, but he blinks in, he forces out the flash, he pushes Ivy off the high ground, he gets in behind, distracts their supports so that Paris can enter for free. Huge plays by Soon on the Tracer at the end there. Huge. His Tracer has been great so far this match. Really strong on the first map as well. B Bloom, thank you for the 7 months. Thoughts on Hanbin? He's been okay on the Orisa at the moment. He's been okay. He's been pretty good. A couple of times where his shield placement was... No, it's not shield placement. It's shield timing was a little off, but Generally, he's been synced with the rest of his team. What do you think Philly is doing wrong? On this map, not that much. On the previous map, I thought that Carpe was taking too many wide angles, and that doesn't really work. And I think they beefed the final fight of Ilios. They had a very strong chance of winning Ilios if they had executed that final fight properly. You know, a better blizzard placement. Carpe hadn't been on a flank again. Placement would have also helped Shadow in that. On this map, though, it's like they're playing a slow tempo comp. Paris are playing a high tempo comp. So Philly's job is to slow Paris down, and they have failed. Shadow's pulls need to be used better to be able to slow them down, and outside of that, they just need to position themselves in places where Paris can't get advantages onto them. The problem is Paris are playing their comp really well. And if it's kind of, you're waiting for Paris to make a mistake. Or for Philly to make big plays. I also think that Paris's composition is really good on defense. Because you wait for Philly to get to a choke point, and you push them with the speed boost. I think Paris are going to easily win this map, actually. I could see this being a full hold. Because also, Philly do not have the flexibility, now that they've subbed in Boombox, to run a Lucio comp against them. So they're just locked into this. Is this GOATs? The Paris Eternal comp functions somewhat similarly to GOATs, yes. Not really. It's much more deathball than GOATs ended up being, honestly. It has almost less brain than GOATs. Oh, Soon ends up dying. I don't know how Soon died there. I wasn't paying attention. I was thinking about how the comps work. But that's a huge opening for Philly. Doesn't look like a full hold anymore. But Paris can delay, and they can speed boost engage out from the high ground. Oh, nice. See, these are the nice halts from Shadow. Nice halt backwards from them. The Molten Core might get a huge amount of work done. Alarm! He dies just as he gets his trance. Oh, it's going to be a full hold. I mean, Philly have still got huge amounts of ults to work with, but it's looking like a full hold now. Yeah, Soon with a really good coom. Shadow got a nice halt to keep them on the high ground for a little longer. That buys him a bit more time, but Alarm... I think Alarm got rocked. He got accretion. Oh, no, he can't have got accretion. What the fuck am I talking about? I thought he was stunned, though. Did he get shattered? No, because Ben Best doesn't... I thought he had a stun icon on. He can't have done. He must have just got killed. I think Paris full hold this. Oh, that's pretty good. That is really good, actually. Okay, sound barrier and a speed boost should be coming out here from Paris. But it doesn't. They get caught. I've worked on there for Philly. Okay, very good. I think Paris kind of beefed that. I don't think the Soon should have gone to the Tracer. I don't think that Tracer is that good when you're on defense. I think the Soon should be swapping off here as well. Yeah, okay, good. I mean, I don't think there's any reason that you run the Tracer on defense here. Oh, Carpe moves over to the Torb. So they're mirroring May Torb. I don't think this is a good idea. Because Carpe's about the only person that can make advantage of playing on the high ground once they actually get through this choke point. And playing with the Torb means that you're playing the same kind of mirror comp as Paris, but you have worse speed to engage. So kind of the strength of Philly's comp is that it has crazy good shield break. And it has pig potential. And you kind of lose some of that when you move over to the Torbjorn. This is a fine push by Paris. You know, they're just... Paris are just trying to keep taking fights over and over again. But if Carpe was on Hanzo right now, he would be able to be on the high ground, shooting shots into the Paris Eternal as they are just sat on the floor with their very static composition. I don't think Torb does as much on the high ground. Do I think Philly should play Orisa Ryan? No, because they don't have a Lucio player on their roster at the moment. So they would just lose. That is a good wall. Gets healed, though. The control of the high ground there just won it for Philly. Control of the high ground, so huge. I mean, that's how Paris won point B as well, right? It's quite difficult if your opponents are playing the game properly for you to defend on point B of Hollywood, because the high ground is so powerful. And you have to... I mean, how are you supposed to get up on the high ground if you're the other team? You have to use the elevators, and you're just going to get halted off, and it just takes too long to take the elevators anyway. Alarm Zen is very good, yes. What do I think of Fury Sigma? It seems to be pretty decent so far. It's kind of weird right now, because normally you would have him playing with the Hanzo, but they're running a Torb. So... Soon? Bro, Soon's aim there looked like mine. That was some Papega aim shit. Okay, now he's switching over to the Tracer. Nope, now he goes back over to the Torbjorn. I think for Paris, I think Soon should be on the McCree. Because McCree is better to control the high... Oh, well, maybe he can just put his turret on the high ground and then play on the low ground. I don't know. I would rather Soon play the McCree here, personally, but I think the Torb is okay. I think Tracer is the worst that he could have picked. Philly are going to find it hard to push here because, again, they've got the speed boost just to engage into them. They need ults. This supercharger is huge from Sado. It's going to do a lot of work, but he's put it in a position where it's easily destroyable. Transcendence. Philly can't really play that fast with the Trance, though, because they don't have a Lucio. So now they're just waiting out the supercharger. They need to win and not in overtime. Blizzard's up for both teams. Fury manages to get a pick on Soon. That's enormous. Hanbin weak. They've let Philly in. This should be a Philly win. Oh, the pin onto Carpe. Ivy? Ivy doesn't have... Dude, did Alarm kill Nico as he was casting his Blizzard? I think he did. I think Alarm cancelled Nico's Blizzard. Ivy's Blizzard now. Their one opportunity of winning this without being in overtime. If Carpe hadn't got pinned there, I think that's a Philly win, by the way. Did it not? Oh, the Blizzard was used early in the fight. Oh, the Shatter! That's a huge Shatter from Ben Best. Still winnable, though, for Philly. Okay, sorry, I was wrong. I thought that Nico had it cancelled. I didn't even remember it being used. Poor turret. God, Fury absolutely boomed Nico there. Oh, it was in overtime. I wasn't paying attention to the clock, but yep, that's an unfortunate one. I see the draw. Definitely could be a draw. Definitely could be a draw. Any draw? Do you see the draw, chat? I'm going to be honest with you guys. I don't see the draw. I think this is a win for Paris. Because Paris are running the Lucio comps. And if they can get through the first choke point for free and take the high ground, they've got a very strong chance of winning that first engagement. Very strong. Sado's halt needs to be perfect. Carpe and Ivy and Alarm need to be doing outrageous amounts of damage and trying to play for picks. I think the likelihood is that Paris win this. Are they going to play on this high ground? This slows Paris down. If you play on this high ground, you do damage as Paris approach, you stop them getting on the high ground that easily, and then you have to fall back to Cafe anyway. So I think this is smart from Philly. But you are just allowing them an opportunity to speed boost straight to point. But if they speed boost straight to point, I think you can continue to do damage to them from above with the Hanzo. And so I think you prioritize high ground here. Oh, the halt. Halt doesn't find anything. And again, Carpe does damage from the high ground and gets soon. I think this is smart. Oh my god, but they actually drop. They don't play the Mei or the Orisa on the point? I mean, that's the fucking basics. Obviously, you need somebody to be on the point. Okay, all right. There must have been some huge play there from Paris. I'm rewinding. There must have been some huge play there from Paris. I mean, Nico got the wall, but even then, as soon as that wall goes up, they're just too slow to respond. Oh, and FD God gets a sick boop onto Sado. Why didn't Sado use his Fortify to contest? Yo, Sado stonks so far down. Ivy also could have used his ice block to contest. Sado genuinely drops down onto the point without using Fortify. Look at this screenshot here. Sado drops down onto the point without using Fortify. He gets booped and then uses Fortify. Oh, my word. Okay, that's... Oh, my God, Sado. It would be very easy to... I am predicting right now that the desk is going to be molding about Sado getting booped off in the final fight of Ilios and Sado not contesting with Fortify at the end of Hollywood. And I'm as the number one Sado apologist, I think that's a reasonable take. I think that's kind of reasonable. Especially the Hollywood one. They need somebody to be playing the point. There has to be a plan around that. Also, though, I do think there was many more mistakes in that final fight on Ilios, but on Paris there, on Hollywood, that's a drawable game. I mean, even so, Paris are the better team. Paris have played the better comps, have played the compositions better. They've been the better team. They deserve to be 2-0 up. But it just hurts a little bit to see the tiny moments of failure coming out from Philly. What's my top teams in the league right now? I think it's not really possible to say top teams in the league. I think you have to say top teams in America and top teams in Asia because they just haven't interacted with each other at all, really. Otherwise, you're trying to say, like, is the Guangzhou Charge better than the Gladiators? This kind of stuff. It's just impossible to be able to tell. But in North America, because that's what we're watching at the moment, I would have said that you have to really put Philly at number one because they've only lost to Paris, and that was a 5-map series, and Paris have looked kind of weak when they played other metas. And they're like 5-1, super consistent. If Paris wins this game, you probably have to put Paris at number one, genuinely. Because the other teams up there are like, well, New York, but they're in Korea at the moment, right? So the other teams up there are like your Shocks, Gladiators. Neither of those have a right to the title at the moment. You have like your Atlanta Reigns, but they haven't really beaten any top teams right now. So, what is this Florida Mayhem tweet? That was a free-range, grass-fed, non-GMO, all-organic Charlie Niner. It was. It really was. It was. Soul It's Titans. They're Asian teams. I'm talking about the teams that are playing in North America at the moment. This is a really good match. Paris has lost 3-0 to Houston and 3-1 to Defiant, though. Yeah, I know. But and that's why I'm saying that previously I don't think you could say that Paris were a top team. But Paris, when they're playing dive metas and when they're playing these May metas, they are a top team. And so it kind of comes down to, I mean, there's always going to be metas that teams are bad at. So you have to kind of weigh up the good versus the bad. That's just one of the things with hero pools. You're never going to get a team that's great at everything. But I think if Paris like 3-0 this, even though it's been pretty close, you're looking at saying that Paris is probably the best team in North America right now, which is something that I did not think I would be saying at all. Yeah, the Defiant game was just a bit of an outlier. The Houston game wasn't really an outlier, though. It was more so that... Oh, my God. Where does that put Houston? Houston are only good at one comp. That's the problem with Houston. And it's not like Paris where they're good at a comp that is like the meta right now, so it comes up a lot of weeks. You know, the May McCree, May Torb, May Hansel kind of shit. That's coming up a lot of weeks. Houston are good at one comp, and it's when you can play Winston, and it's when you can play Doomfist and like some kind of divey Doomfist style like that. And they're a top team when they can play that. They're like a top 3 team in North America probably when they can play that comp. When you're forced to play that comp. The rest of the time, they're pretty shit. So I don't think you can... You have to weigh the team's strengths based on how often those metas are likely to come up as well. What is this? What is this one? Chad Kuma, Director of Teacher and Learning, was elected as the Chamber of Commerce Glenpool Citizen of the Year. His name is Chad Kuma. His name is Chad Kuma. Chad Kuma. Yep, cock. Yeah, I agree with Jonathan here. I think this is why the Torb is getting played. It's definitely not a meme pick at all. Orbital OW, thank you for the 7 months. How have Paris done so much better than their preseason rankings? I mean, for starters, they're all playing heroes that they're very comfortable with. But the coordination has been really good. And I think I got to put that down to the coaching staff. I think the coaching staff have just done an enormously good job with this team. The fact that you can put Ben Best on Reinhardt is huge for this team, though. It's really huge. I think outside of a Reinhardt meta where he can play that hero, Paris will look weaker. Same with FD God. Whenever he was playing on the Brigitte, they did look a lot weaker. Xy's been a great pickup for the team. I think even I was one of the highest on Xy. I'm a big Element Mystic fan. I really love the guy. I thought he's incredibly good. Even I wasn't expecting him to be like have more impact than Glisser in these matches and stuff, you know? Like Xe was, in my head, not really a candidate for Rookie of the Year coming in because there were so many other players that were better than Xe at the tier 2 level. But Xe's been really good once he got to the Overwatch League. Better than you would expect him to be, I think. So that's also a huge deal. I mean, he's not playing in this match, but it has been a big factor for them previously, particularly when like they were playing the Tracer Soldier. His Soldier there was enormous. But yeah, I think getting Nico on the Mei, enormous for this team. Nico doesn't really... I don't think that Nico can go toe-to-toe with a lot of other flex DPSs in the league on fragging kind of heroes. You know, the ones where you're supposed to carry for your team. But when you put him on one where you utilize the brain, Nico has gone from being a player that... When I used to play against Nico in TF2, we used to meme on that kid for being so brainless. Like, he would just run in all the time and just try and win with his sheer mechanics. And then when we saw him play in Overwatch, he kind of had this slow transition to being less and less about his aim. And, like, he picked up the Diva, he picked up the Brig, he picked up the Mei now. And that really seems to be his niche that he occupies, is... He'll play the heroes that DPS players have to play that's way more about a macro feel of the game rather than outskilling his opponent. Who did Nico play in TF? In Team Fortress? He played Scout. We got into ring for our teams a lot of times towards the end of when we played in the Premiership. Isn't there a Nico command? Yeah, I think so. I think the Nico command is, and this guy dared to troll my game style, lol. That was when I would cast his games and be talking about how brain dead he was. And then he watched me play and he was like, oh my god, this guy is so bad. How dare he troll my game style? Lol. He definitely was all aim, no brain back in the day. But then he... in Overwatch, it's kind of the opposite. Oh, Solar Nexus, I'm sorry. Thank you very much for the tier 1 sub. I didn't realize, but thank you. I guess I was just lost in the middle of the game. Thank you very much, Solar Nexus. Appreciate it. And learning is first as well. Thank you for the Twitch Prime sub 3 minutes ago. Now Sideshow has no brain, no aim. That's true. Except in Valorant, where I'm all brain, no aim. When is Sparkle old enough to play? I think it's like May 31st, something like that. What does GDH mean on Nico's name? It's God Hand. Because he got banned from the European Team Fortress League, the league that everybody played in, the top league in Europe, because the anti-cheat team reviewed his VODs, like reviewed his demos, which is, you can see all of the raw inputs as well. It's like a direct game file. And they found that he was pressing inputs using a script that made it faster than a human could. So they banned him for using a cheating script because it was like, it was pressing AD faster than a human could press the inputs. But he got his mum to record him pressing the buttons as fast as the script was. So he proved with a video taken by his mum that he could press the buttons just as fast as the script could. Therefore, making the argument that the script was not a cheat because it could not outperform a human. It just made it easier. They reversed his ban, and he took the name Nico Godhand because his left hand, filmed by his mother, was able to move at inhuman speeds. I swear to you, that is a true story. That's the kind of, like, he used to be a fucking just playing 1v1s all the time, focused on his mechanics, trying to put as many inputs into the game as possible. And now he's like a brain player. It's the most 180 turnaround I've ever seen in a player's game style. I'm not trolling his game style anymore. Couldn't he just speed up the video, though? He recorded the video and sent them the demo of the inputs, so they were able to match the video to the inputs. Yeah, enormous dick energy, yep. Yeah, Paris are always amazing on Paris. This is going to be a 3-0. Dude, Paris is definitely Paris's best map. It always has been. I don't know why, but it always has been. Like, I feel like it was a meme in the team that they should scrim Paris more because they have home field advantage, and then they just realized they were really good on Paris, and now they've just... I think it's their highest win rate map. All right, but let's actually focus on the game at hand. The Paris Eternal are playing this high-tempo comp again. So anytime Philly advance, they're going to rush into them. Oh, that is a nice pick from Carpe. That's going to fuck you up. So Philly have way more pressure. So what you saw from Philly there was really smart. They looked like they were going in. Philly dropped off the high ground, and Paris dropped off the high ground. Philly immediately retreated. So as they retreat, they can continue to do damage with their Zen, with their Torb, with their Mei, with their Sigma as well. They have more shield pressure. They don't have more shield pressure than if they were playing the Hanzo, but they do have more shield pressure because of the Zen. And then because Paris are on the low ground, they managed to find an opportunity to wiggle their way in a little bit, find some sightlines, and get a pick. That's really nice from Philly. That's not always going to work, but that's looking good. Now here, Paris's comp isn't that good on point B, I think. Because, yeah, there's a tight choke point here for them to be able to block, but Philly can just rotate up to this high ground and do damage to them from afar. And Paris are forced to play aggressive into them, I feel. And then Philly can kite them. The issue becomes, does Philly actually have enough damage to be able to kill them all before Paris's spawners come back in? I feel like Paris are going to be able to delay forever. I think Philly's comp is better here, but I think Paris are going to be able to delay forever. The Blizzard is good, though, at being able to finish people. Like, how do they... Oh, Hanbid does actually get melted there. Okay, all right. Yep, I was wrong. The Blizzard got enormous work done. I don't think that Paris played the right comp on point B. You kept jinxing it? Yeah. I'm cursing them. I don't think that Paris's comp is good on point B, though. I don't think there's any... It's too open. And you can't push with an aggressive Lucio comp on a big open map. Rekrag27, thank you for the Twitch Prime. Grizzly Reptor, thanks for the raid. What comp should they go with, then? I think they should try and mirror at that point. I don't know whether FD God is comfortable at playing the Zen, to be honest, but I think mirroring the comp is a better option. Mirroring the comp allows you to have enough shield pressure and enough shields to be able to hold your ground a bit more and occupy the high ground. You have to be able to fight over the high ground. If you can't fight over the high ground, you've probably lost on Paris Point B. Slowly... And there is still potential for you to be able to use your spawners to get back in because it's badly designed. But, yeah. Okay, so Philly have changed it up. Wolf's saying that they haven't changed it up, but they have massively changed it up here. They are now running the comp that's about hard engages. They're running the Lucio. So they could have just sat back with a Zen and spammed from the high ground, and I think that would have been okay. But instead, they're playing the Lucio comp. And that means that they're probably going to drop down and engage. So Philly are now running... kind of the Paris composition. Oh! Oh, that wall, though, is so huge on Fury. Oh, what a wall from Nico. What a wall. Could not have asked for anything better. Another amazing wall onto Ivy. Good peel, though. They break the Mei wall. They put the immortality field down. That's lost as soon as Fury dies, though. Nico, God Brain. Oh, hello? Alarm's killed 2? Are they going to try and clutch this? Alarm uses Amp Matrix here. He kills Grey and heals Fury on the point. I don't think this is winnable at all. But I don't know whether to respect the style points of Alarm just thinking that he can fucking 2v5 that. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. All right. Okay. The fact that Paris aren't running, this is going to be much closer. The wall isn't very good, honestly, from Ivy, but it does set up a fairly nice blizzard. Someone needs to kill Nico. Are you going to kill Nico? Nope, no punish on Nico, who took an aggressive angle there. Great defensive Mei wall from Nico as well. FD got so weak. All right, the reason that this is so different and why they're not fighting over the high ground is that the attacking team isn't running the Zen. The attacking team isn't running a comp that has more damage. They're both running the hard engaged Lucio comps. So this is now going to be a very fair, even fight on point B. And I think Paris is going to struggle to cap this. They need some big ults coming out. But they've already used their Blizzard. I don't know about this. I mean, if they can find a nice teleport play. Oh, decent shatter from Sado. Ben Best could reply with a good one himself, though. Nico gets frozen. Shatter. Nice sound barrier from Funny Astro. Sado gets pins. Yeah. This is tough for Paris. Because they're playing a mirror comp. And mirror comps don't naturally have advantages. Or like good win conditions. You just kind of have to outplay your opponent or get better ults. And yeah, they're not playing a direct mirror comp because Suna has the sim. But the sim, I mean, how does the sim find value? The sim finds value by slowly doing damage to shields. But you can always find flanks because Paris is so open. Dude, why do we have a team in the league called Paris and a map called Paris? Why is that a thing? Call it fucking Lyon or something. Just call the map a different city. Torb or Sim, which is better? I think with these comps, Torb is better. Not always, depends on the map, but on this map, I would say Torb is better. This is so rough for Paris. Wolf's totally right. Because even if they win the fight, even if they get advantages, unless you totally wipe Philly, they can come back in, stall, and still win. This next fight is their huge chance. The Blizzard. I disagree with Wolf here. I think that Paris do have a good chance at winning this fight because they have Supercharger and the Blizzard. They can engage for free with this Wakanda shield. Then they have the Supercharger. And then as soon as Philly actually drop to the point... Oh my god, do not stand in the coombe. Okay, now they got a good beat. They kind of wasted the Blizzard though. Nico's Blizzard wasn't good. Yeah. The Blizzard wasn't good enough. Now they're fucked. This is a hold from Fusion. 6 ults and they lose. Yeah. They didn't get the Blizzard down. I mean, I don't think that's... I mean... They had a great ultimate advantage in that final fight. But they misplayed it, and even an ult advantage isn't that large an advantage in a mirror like this. Oh! Flash Shatter? Nice immortality field, though. Alarm's on it. Alarm's fucking on it. Sadow's playing very aggressive considering he has a Hanzo on his team instead of a Torb. Nice wall. Alright. This is one of the few times that Paris have lost Paris. I want to actually look that up. How many times have Paris lost Paris? When I said at the beginning of this map that Paris have won, obviously I was, you know, joking. You can't tell whether someone's going to win a map just because they have done in the past. But Paris have been really good on Paris in the past. So I am a little bit surprised that they ended up getting kind of tactically outplayed here. They're 1-0 on Paris so far this year. So they've only played it once in 2020. So now they're going to be 1-1. This is the problem. Even when you get some good picks from Paris, the spawn advantage is just so huge. I mean, this is one of the reasons that the devs have said that Paris is not a great map and needs rebalancing. Okay. So, let's look it up. They were 3-1-1 on Paris last year. Huh, interestingly, Paris were actually 4-0 on Havana. That's very strange, because Paris last year weren't very good, but they were 4-0 on Havana. I didn't know that. But apart from Havana, Paris was their best map. So, yeah. Why would they ban Paris from ranked but allow it in Owl? I think probably because teams have already been practicing it, so they didn't have enough notice. I think they probably will in the future. Wait, Sideshow, why did you think Paris could stall forever on second point Philly offense? You said Philly didn't have enough damage, but Philly had the Zen, Sigma, Bap, and Torb. Yeah, I mean, I think damage was the wrong word, Rutro. What I meant was, like, the ability to focus people down and kill them very quickly. They don't have like a McCree to burst people down. The Torb doesn't really work that well unless you hit every single shot. And they don't have that much CC with that composition. I mean, I guess the Rock is okay. But if they didn't kill like 3 people in the Blizzard, which they ended up doing, they ended up killing 3 people in the Blizzard. But if they don't, then they're in a very scrappy, long fight because of all of the shields that are in the way. And they don't have like something that can just bust people up really quickly. Alarm Rookie of the Year. I think Alarm's going to be a candidate. I don't think that he's my leader at the moment. Go on, Rome. Thank you very much for another 5 gifted subs. Incredibly generous. Thank you very much, Go on, Rome. It seems like every day you're in here giving 5 gifteds. Thank you so much. Any dodgers in the chat? Rookie of the Year so far is Exy, in my opinion. I think that's a very good pick. I think that's a good pick. I think we haven't seen enough of Glist. Oh, hello. Where's Ilios? Did Ilios go to pee? Wolf's like, hello? Achilles just pops up. Bob Danza, thank you for the gifted sub to Pepe the Frogs. Thank you very much. And Queely, thanks for the Twitch Prime. New Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, he just kind of teleported back on screen. Lastro and KSP are both good candidates for Rookie of the Year as well. I don't really agree, Taco Boy. The reason being that I feel like the arguments for Lastro and KSP are very similar to the arguments for Alarm and Xe, but just a little weaker. So if you were going to give it to Lastro, all the arguments for Lastro, you would rather give it to Alarm. And all the arguments for KSP, you would kind of rather give it to Xe. Edison might end up being a great Rookie of the Year. He was actually my Rookie of the Year pick. I think that Krong might make a good case for himself as the season goes on as well. I think Atlanta we haven't seen enough of at all, but, you know, maybe like someone like Hawk actually ends up playing incredibly. Leave? I think Leave is kind of fucked because he's on Chengdu. And Chengdu just doesn't have an ability to play meta. Leave was bad this morning. I saw some of it, and I saw him just running around with Dragon Blade getting pooed on in like classic Jinmu fashion. I think Leave is kind of he's in the Chengdu zone. He's in the Chengdu zone. It's hard to look good. When you win, you look like you're great, but you're often playing direct counter heroes. And so it's hard to tell how good you really were. Boombox? What the fuck are you talking about, Boombox? Who are you? Haven't seen enough of him either. It's been a long time since we saw him play, and he didn't look that good when he did play on the May. All right. Can Philly come back into this game? Paris are playing an aggressive attack, but with a Widowmaker. All right, so let's think about these comps while they're paused. Paris are playing an aggressive comp, but with a Widow. I don't think that this is a great idea. I think that if you ran Zen Bap with May Widowmaker, it would be better. But I don't think FD God is comfortable playing the Bap. I think also Orisa Sigma would be better with that. Oh, Boombox is in. Boombox is in, right. Sorry, you weren't saying that he was a... You weren't saying that he was a... I wasn't saying that he was a Rookie of the Year candidate. Boombox being in kind of makes sense to play the Bap Zen, but do I really think that Boombox's Batiste is better than Funny Astros? Significantly better. To the point where you would deliberately stop yourselves being able to run Lucio comps just to get Boombox's better Batiste? I think not. I think it's a bad decision. Astro does have a pretty decent BAP. It's not amazing, but it's pretty decent. Why do people think Boombox isn't good? I think Boombox is okay, but Boombox can't play Lucio, so that's not good. Maybe Funny Astro's sick? No, he played on Paris. Funny Astro played on Paris. And he played Batiste last map as well. Clearly Sideshow is out of the UK Mafia. Yeah, I mean, Boombox or Funny Astro, they're both UK, so the UK Mafia doesn't come into it. AJM994, thank you for the tier 1 sub as well. I missed that for a moment, but thank you. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it, Swag Solidarity. Boombox is solid. sometimes had questionable ults in the past, but in the world of competitive flex supports, in the Overwatch League kind of level, he's not top level. Yo! Do I think the Fusion's improvement this year are due to upgrading supports? Or just better... For fuck's sake, I can't read it. What does it say? Or just better... God damn it. What did that say, chat? Or just better what? I think they've got better coordination, if that's what it was. Coaching? I mean, I don't know how much the coaching has improved. It's hard to tell. But I think their improvements are because they've got a shift in mentality and compositions that they're more comfortable with. Okay, I like this switch. Suna's gone over to the Torbjorn, which means that they now have a good comp for playing aggressively. And they're just going to continue to run down. Ooh, very fast Blizzard to clutch. Very fast Blizzard to clutch. I assumed that Paris had won that because I just thought that Ivy wouldn't have his Blizzard. Considering we were paused and there wasn't much fighting actually happening, that's a pretty fast Blizzard. Is Ivy the best Mei we've seen? I think so. I think that, honestly, Nico might be up there. But in terms of the mechanics, Ivy has been really good. Mechanics and Mei walls, Ivy's very strong. Oh, shit, Erster. Sorry. Yep, I forgot about Erster. Nope, Erster's a fucking nut. Erster's the best Mei. That guy is cracked. He's fucking cracked, dude. Erster, Ivy, Nico. Maybe I'm forgetting about some other people, but yeah. How could I forget about Erster? I haven't seen Atlanta play in weeks. Kind of forgot about it. Prophet? I think Prophet's really good. Prophet might be better than Nico. I'm not sure. I think Nico's really good, though. I don't think Prophet's better than Erster or Ivy, though, at the Mei. I think the great thing about Prophet is he's normally like top 3, top 5 at every single hero he plays. He's not always the best, though. And I think this is one of the scenarios where he's not actually the best. Rascal? Libero? Historically, yes. This year, no. Oh, God. What a halt on Carpe. Is Stratus up there? No, I don't think so. Oh my God, Gray just getting pummeled from the high ground. This is where Philly's comp is so good, just playing on the high ground. But at some point, you got to be able to contest. I really feel like Carpe playing... Even Carpe playing something... like the... Okay, as dumb as this is going to sound, even Carpe playing like the soldier, locking the legs, would be able to get a lot of work done on the high ground. The Torb is like... You want to play the Torb if you're brawling. But if you're brawling against the Lucio comp, you've probably lost anyway. So why not play something like the Hanzo, where you can play on these high grounds and get picks more easily? I mean, at some point, you got to brawl because you got to play the point, I guess. I don't know. This is still winnable for both teams. I thought the Paris' tanks had come back off the respawn, actually. That was not winnable for Paris. I think Paris' tanks are just... Yeah, they were just waiting. They didn't even want to commit. If Paris' tanks had got there quicker, that felt like it could be winnable. Philly were really weak. Boombox is consistently average every year. I don't know whether I would really say that either. I think that Boombox has moments where he can make some large mistakes with his transcendences. That was a theme in 2018. I think he's like an average to good flex support that sometimes makes some pretty heavy mistakes. And when I say average to good, I mean compared to average Overwatch League flex support level, which is already incredibly good. Yeah, maybe an average that sometimes makes mistakes, actually. Now that I think about some of the other flex supports in the league. Yeah. So, let's try and think. For the Paris Eternal, they need to take control of this high ground. But they need to approach without taking too much damage. So how do they do it? They need to come up the back, and they need to work their way through the top. And soon playing the point to force Philly onto the low ground. So they have to work their way from the top. But Philly just keep backing off. So the soon Tracer forces them onto the payload at some point. It's just a really good place for Philly's comp to hold. Ooh, Sado got halted off the high ground, though. They can't really engage onto him, though. The trans... They've got so many ults here, Philly. And they've still got all the high ground. Yeah. And this is the weird thing about what we're looking at here. We're looking at Philly, who have a roster that can't play Lucio, and Paris, who have a roster that can't play Bap Zen. And I say can't because maybe won't is a better word, but FD God is just like hard committing onto this Lucio. Paris should have swapped their comp to mirror the Philly Fusion. Play some Orisa Sigma, play some Zen Bap, play on the high ground, play the spam angles, and work off that. But FD God just wants to play this Lucio. And FD God has been so much better than Lucio than anything else. But their comp is point specific. You can't run that composition everywhere. He's literally a one trick. I mean, I hate applying that label to people. One trick. But FD God does seem to be so much better at Lucio than every other hero that he can play that it's like, kind of. Yeah, Transcendence can be used for more than just healing. It can be used to save yourself and flank as well, Wolf. Ivy locking the legs? I don't think he'll play the legs. Dude, Soon is going to play the... I think Soon is going to struggle to get sightlines. I think Soon is going to struggle to get sightlines here. And Paris have now lost their ability to brawl. Because even with the Lucio, their comp still now loses to Philly. It all comes down to Soon getting picks. Now, Soon can play a lot of high grounds and not get... I mean, there's no one to contest him. There's no Lucio to contest him. There's no Diva to contest him. The problem is, unless he flanks a lot, he's just going to be shooting into shields. And if he flanks a lot and doesn't hit his shots, Paris are fucked. I don't like this from Soon. On the defense here, you should be able to get a lot of value out of a May Torb or May Reaper or something with the Lucio. Philly should be trying to take high ground, though, I think. Okay, they take high ground in an interesting way, using the May Wall boost. I like that. So now you've got good angles for Carpe, Ivy, Alarm to do damage. They want to be working their way and swing out wide here. Or just find a pick, but... I wonder whether Carpe would be better off playing the Hanzo. If you play the Hanzo, you can find where Soon is. Oh, nice pick by Soon. He finds that angle. Is this just changing the comp for the sake of changing the comp? No, I think they really believe that they can just delay here and buy time for Soon to be able to get picks. But all it takes is one fight where Soon doesn't hit anything, and they've kind of fucked up. Why does it sound like Wolf and Achilles can't hear each other? Nice Maywall. Good defensive Maywall from Ivy. Because that was an attempt at a insta-kill fire strike through the Amp Matrix. Carpe gets a body shot. He's getting run down by Hanbin. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the Carpe Torb here. I don't think it makes sense. I think Carpe should be playing the Widow. Should be playing the Hanzo. It has more opportunities to get picks. It can pressure Soon out from range. They're just so slow. They're so slow here. And obviously, the best counter to what Paris are running is a Lucio composition that can just brawl. Like, if they just swapped Alarm to the Lucio, they would have had a great composition with the Torbjorn, with May Torb. Because they would have just rolled over Ben Best and Hanbin and soon wouldn't have been able to get picks in time. You just turn up the tempo. But Philly don't have a Lucio. They don't have a Lucio player in the roster. So that's why I'm not even suggesting it as an option. Yeah. Okay. I like the trance. And now Carpe on the Hanzo just gets so much more work done. Huge work from Carpe on the Hanzo. Soon was forced to go aggro. And he doesn't hit the shots. But that's the risk of running the Widowmaker, is that you end up getting forced into horrible situations like that. If Carpe runs the... I think this is a good move from Paris. You should try and win this fight. I don't think that you will, but you might. And if you do, you've won the map. So it's worth taking the risk. It's not even that much of a risk. You still get into the fight. Always worth going for. I like the swap from Soon to Tracer as well. Lets him contest. Gives him an opportunity to harass. But he should swap now. So this is all about high ground control. Whichever team has high ground control is now going to win this map. Oh, Soon is playing Widow. I don't agree with Wolf at all there. I think the amount of ult charge that Philly got is not going to matter over the course of the map at all. They've still got high ground control. That's all that Paris were playing for. They're in a perfectly fine scenario. There's nothing wrong with that contest. But I do not think that Soon on the Widow is a good idea here. I think Soon on Widow is what's going to throw this map away. Philly are going to win this map. Because with Soon on Widow, you can't drop engage onto Philly's comp. You just are not going to win. You don't have the damage. So when you drop on them, you now lose. So your one win condition with this comp of taking fast engages from the higher ground where you just drop on them and dominate, you've just thrown it away. Soon on the Reaper, soon on the McCree, soon on the Torbjorn, all of those things would have ended with a win in that fight. But by playing the Widow, you've made a compromise that splits both of your win conditions. Unless Soon kills like 4 people in that fight, you're fucked. Oh, Reaper is banned? Well then, fair enough. The McCree or the Torbjorn. Even the Tracer is better than the Widowmaker. I think the Tracer's a bit of a desperation pick here now that you don't have high ground control. Oh! Sado gets burst down before the trance can get to him. That could be huge, actually. Who's this Blizzard get? Doesn't get anyone. Ooh, Carpe, though. Oh, it does actually find somebody. This is close. Oh, nice shot onto Soon. Dude, Carpe is dominating. Carpe is fucking dominating. Help Carpe, please. Shadow could clutch here from Ben Best. Oh, he doesn't even get it. Ivy coming back in on the Tracer. This is going to be a win for Philly eventually. Unless Soon can just like mega clutch or something. No. Pulse Bomb doesn't work. This is a Philly win. Paris threw this defense. Soon specifically, I don't know why he picked the heroes that he picked. It was close to Philly throwing it away as well, but this should not have gone to a fifth map. Carpe carried this attack? Yeah, but Carpe's Hanzo still should have been countered by Soon playing a Torb in that fight where they had high ground control of point B. They should have been able to drop and win that fight if Soon was playing the Torb. And then Carpe would have never been in position to clutch. And yes, Carpe did absolutely slap in that final fight. If he didn't, they would have lost. They still would have had another fight, you know. Because if Carpe doesn't get all of those picks, the fight doesn't even go that long. He ends up dying. They still have another fight because they still have another, like, 40 seconds. So, yeah. I think the Paris threw that away, though. I think they threw it away. Philly always make this shit close. This now becomes very interesting, though, in terms of your question of who's the best team in America. Because if Paris had dominated this match, even though the first two maps were close, if they had closed it out 3-0 on Paris, then I think you have to have a very strong argument that Paris is the best team in America. But now, even with a map 5 win, you could still argue that Fusion is the better team overall because Fusion have been able to beat better competition than Paris. You can argue, like, Paris are just good in the direct matchup against Fusion. They have a good stylistic matchup, but they still managed to make it really close. Like, Fusion's only 2 losses would be map 5 losses against Paris, whereas Paris have ended up losing to, like, Houston and Defiant, and it's clear that Paris are a bit weak when dive metas come around. So this makes the argument much closer, whereas previously, and certainly if Fusion win, then Fusion stay on top. Paris beat Atlanta? Yeah, they did. But that's the same kind of stuff. They were still playing these kind of comps. So that's what I'm saying, is that Paris seem to be specifically very good at the May comps. Can't you just say they're both equal? I mean, you could do. People normally like to nominate a winner, though. I mean, you could say that they're equally on top. Sure, that's a paradigm shift. They beat Philly on dive. Yeah, they did, but I think that's more to do with. I mean, that was a 5-map series, and Ivy was having to play the soldier, whereas Hisu is now available. I think if you play that series again now, Philly definitely win with Hisu now able to play the soldier. Is it Oasis again? Who wins between Atlanta and Philly tomorrow? I think Atlanta might win. Because Atlanta were already playing a lot of the Rhino, Rissa, Torb, Bap, Lucio stuff in the past. And Massa is flexible enough to play Zen Bap if they need to. So I think this meta is really good for Atlanta. But I think it should be a really close game. I don't want to say that it's really one way. It's going to be good. It's going to be good. I think Atlanta, Philly, and Paris are all three really good teams in this kind of meta. Shock versus Gladiators prediction. Dogman is the one playing Batiste. Dogman plays Batiste when Massa plays Lucio, but they've actually played it both ways when they've played Bap Zen in the past, I think. I think they've played with Dogman playing Zen, and they've also played it with Massa playing Zen. So, both 3, is that what I said? All 3 is what I meant. I feel like Gladiators might win this game against the Shock coming up. But I think it comes down to whether Shock can play the comp that Philly are playing right now. Do Shock play Rascal on the May? Do Shock play Lucio Bap instead of Bap Zen? If they do, I think Shock can win. But I think that's going to be another really close game. It does depend a lot on the Shock May. It does. If Shock play the slower style, I think the Glads win. All right, both teams playing the same composition. Nice aggression from Philly. Sorry, Paris. And that is just because they played... Right, it was only Paris there that played the sim, right? They just got in their face faster because they had a faster rollout because of the sim. Carpe didn't run sim at the beginning, right? Am I going crazy? Yeah, that was all just due to the sim rollout. Philly were probably confused. Normally you don't... Oh, that is quite nice. Good coordination from Philly. And they've killed Grey as well, so they know there's no immortality field. They know, well, the immortality field actually did get used, but they know that there's not one later on in this fight. Oh! Alarm! Save Fury! Oh my god, nice shot by Soon. Paris are clutching this. Maybe not in the end. But they're still taking up time on the point. This is a lot closer than it should have been. Now, unfortunately, they fed Alarm another amp matrix. But I think that's worth it for the time that you take up on the point. What the fuck is Soon doing? Blizzard plus Coom equals chilled nut. Pure Fury isn't getting any peel. I mean, I think the immortality field was just a little too late there. Coom. Hard to tell really what's happening here at all. But Sado managed to kill... Sado managed to kill the turret and the immortality field. Well, it was hard to tell what happened there, but I'm going to assume that the Blizzard was the difference maker from Ivy. And Philly can definitely win here as well. It's harder to use Blizzard on attack. They might be able to get a kill with an Amp Matrix Fire Strike, and they will definitely be able to slow them down with a Supercharger. So it's hard. It's hard here for Nico to get value out of his Blizzard. Can Philly even play the Zen comp on control? Not really. The Lucio comp is just better, I think. There's some maps where you might be able to play it, but not really Oasis. Maybe City Center? Whoa, I nearly threw my water all over my desk. Carpe's Coom, I think, is going to be enough to stay in control of this, actually. Oh, Carpe! Carpe didn't kite with the rest of his team. I think Philly have stayed in control of this, though. Nice ult from Carpe. Yeah. Okay. The aggression. Halt doesn't quite drop Sado into the pit, which would have been huge. Fury's desperately getting healed. Nice fire strike. Nico's been caught. Yeah, this is that's a good round by Philly. That's a very good round. Proving that they can run this comp just as well as Paris. I also think it's been good adaptation throughout this series from Philly. From the beginning, where they kind of got dominated by the Lucio comps, to now, where they have adjusted into it. That was a really good round from the Fusion. Fury halted Hanbin and Benbest into the pit there. Yeah, I missed that. Those halts are so huge. No XE, no win. XE wouldn't make the difference in this series. There's no McCree being played. Soon is the better pick than XE here. To play the Torbjorn and to also play the Tracer. Sometimes. I mean, I think that Soon made mistakes with the heroes that he played on Torado and potentially lost this series, but I don't think that Xe was the better pick. I think you just have to tell Soon to play the proper heroes. Xe can play Hanzo. Hanzo is not good with the Lucio comps. The Lucio comps are high tempo. Hanzo is a low tempo hero. It's about picks and spam damage. This McCree, though, good from Soon. Soon is definitely good at the McCree as well. Xe's probably better, but Soon is very good at the McCree. No McCree being played? Yeah, up until right now. Alright, now Carpe goes over to the McCree. McCree is good on this map. I like it. Because you have the high ground to be able to play on. Deadeyes can zone. I like McCree here instead of the Torb. Also, just there's more flanking angles. Because the map is so wide. Ooh. High Noon's going to be huge, though. I actually thought that Ben Best would get more value done there by playing aggressive. Because High Noon just forces all of these abilities out, right? So you almost just win the fight even though you don't get any kills. Why is chat in slow mode? It might have been... Sorry, it's probably in slow mode from yesterday. I've been streaming a lot of Valorant and people are going crazy because they just want drops. So they're just spamming shit. Let me try and remove slow mode. Oh, well, slow mode is fucking 1 second. You only have to wait 1 second between messages. I think you guys can handle that. It's just to stop people spamming too much, too long. I can't wait 1 second. You think wrong, buddy boy. Nice stun. But anyway, the Blizzard is way too big. This is pretty much a win here for Philly. I mean, I don't know how they're going to even be able to do this. Alarm on the Moira is going to try and touch, but not going to happen. A good run from Paris. Great aggression. Good ult cycling. They play inside the choke points. They execute on every ultimate really, really well. So, good work. All comes down to the final one. This really is a repeat of last time. Is this the exact same rounds that were played as well? Like, didn't it all come down to this point as well? All comes down to Gardens between Philly and Paris. McCree is also good here. I think McCree is better than the Torbjorn on this point. So Carpe, I like this. I think Carpe's sim rollout here is not as important as it is on the... No, don't go Widow. He's got a slow rollout because he can't play the Reaper or anything to get back with his team, so he's going to play Widow from the other side. The Widow is such high risk, high reward. Oh my god, you have to hit your shots. It gives your team a fast rollout to the high ground, and it gives you the off angle. But Carpe has to hit shots. Oh my god, he's so good! He's so good! He's so good! He's so good! Oh! Oh, it's disgusting! It's disgusting! It feels so risky in the final round of a 5-map series. And now he swaps back. Dude, he's so smart. I love that he... No, oh god. Don't stay on the Widow. Don't stay on the Widow. Now is the perfect time to swap. Now is the perfect time to swap. Oh my god, he's got to hit all of his shots again. Oh, the Lucio's just going to force him out. So is the McCree. That's a lovely shatter from Sado. That's a lovely shatter. Just a solo shatter onto Soon. Oh my god. That fire strike through the Amp Matrix did so much damage to everyone on Philly. The Amp Matrix was enormous from Alarm. My god. All right, now swap off Carpe. And no, now he's got Infrasight. Yeah, Soon swaps to Tracer. Okay, now Carpe goes to the McCree. Okay, Torb. I think McCree is better, but all right, Torb is also fine. As you can see, Torb is also a very good Tracer counter. Unless your name is Decay, in which case, for some reason, you're able to drop a 3.0 KD against Torbjorns. Dude, Carpe, huge plays. Oh my god. Wasted the recall? Yeah, I think he was... I think he used the recall because he was scared of Carpe and Ivy. They both have 0 damage fall off, and both will just destroy a Tracer from long range. It's going to be almost impossible for Paris to win this. They've got double support ult, but so do Philly. And the Blizzard is going to catch people. Shatter. Well, that was not close. That final round was not close. It was high risk, high reward from Carpe, but my god, he made his impact felt. Okay, and Carpe's spamming his YouTube link in the chat.